Hey, what is up guys, Seth here, and I'm really excited for this new deck. I really am interested in this new archetype that's coming out. If you guys haven't heard about it, they're called Zefras, or Sephiras in Japanese. Um, it's based off of the 10 of them, the Sephiroth, and that's obviously why it gets covered on my channel, because I should be covering it. It just feels like I should be, and it's based off the Kabbalah or something. And it's the best hybrid pendulum deck I've seen. It's got so much potential, it's got so much going for it, that you guys should be interested in this, and you guys should pick it up as soon as it hits the TCG. Well, actually you should play it while it's on the OCG on Dueling Network or Death Pro when it's uploaded and things, but the minute it's uploaded you should be playing it. So we're going to go through the cards so far that have been announced through Wikia, and it's the OCG set that's coming out and is Crossed Souls. Crossed Souls? Yeah, it's Crossed Souls. Oops. Yeah, Crossed Souls. So the first card is a continuous spell card called Zefra Path. You can only activate if you control 2 Zefra cards in your pendulum zones with scales of 1 to 7, so it's very specific. When this card is activated, shuffle all monsters you control into the deck, except Zefra monsters, so there's your condition. Then neither player can special summon monsters except from the hand or extra deck. While you control a card in your pendulum zone, this card cannot be targeted by card effects. If a card in your pendulum zone is destroyed, destroy this card. So it's very specific, but it's very good against things like Burning Abyss and things that will special summon from the grave, such as Tellarknights. Tellarknights will special summon from the grave with Call of the Haunted and stuff, and Altair. So it prevents all that bullshit. So I think it's a solid enough card, but it's, you know, it's not going to stop Khaliforts, it's not going to stop Masked Heroes, and it's not going to stop it's not going to stop Necros, because they'll special summon from the hand as well. So it only stops Necro Cycle and things like that. It stops Graveyard abuse from Burning Abyss, and it stops special summon from the deck abuse from the Burning Abyss. So it seems like a very Burning Abyss anti-card, and it also feels like Vanity's Emptiness is going to get banned, because this card is balanced. This card is very, very balanced. It's almost not worth running. I don't think I would run this card, just because of how Vanities is just superior to it in every single way. So that's why I think Vanities is going to get banned pretty soon, because cards like this keep coming out where neither player can special summon, but it's only from it's set from the hand or extra deck. So yeah. Now moving on, we've got Oracle of Zefra. This is the field spell, and it's a fantastic one. You can only activate one Oracle of Zefra per turn. When this card is activated, add 1 Zefra monster from your deck to your hand. So I don't think the field spell needs to resolve in order to add 1 Zefra monster from your deck to your hand. It needs only to activate. So if they MST your Oracle of the Zefra, I still think you add a Zefra monster from your deck to your hand. Now the field spell is fantastic. It's very balanced, but you know, I'll leave it up to interpretation from you guys. When you ritual summon by using a Zefra monster, or special summon by using Zefra monsters as material, so it's very specific to the Zefra archetype, you can activate each of these effects up to once per turn. So if you ritual summon, fusion summon, synchro summon and XYZ summon all in the same turn, you can activate all of these effects once. But if you ritual summon twice, you can't activate the ritual summon effect twice. So that's what it means. The ritual monster, if you ritual summon something using a Zefra monster, you shuffle 1 monster on the field into the deck. That's you can effect. You don't need to, you can. Fusion monster, special summon 1 monster from the hand, balanced. Synchro monster, choose 1 monster from your deck and place it on top of your deck. And XYZ monster, draw 1 card, then discard 1 card. So the thing you're probably going to be going for is the XYZ monster, let's be serious. This is what you're probably going to be doing, is the XYZ monster. It opens you up to using XYZ monsters in a Shaddoll deck using this, you know, field spell. You can then discard cards. You can draw a card, discard a Shaddoll, and that's, I believe that's through card effect. That will be through card effect, so it's not cost to then discard if you do XYZ summon. So I think Shaddoll XYZ Zefras will exist as a deck, and I look forward to that. Next up is Zefra Divine Attack Counter Trap. It's when a spell trap or monster effect is activated, banish 1 face-up Zefra monster from your extra deck, negate the activation if you do destroy it. Zefra monsters are all pendulum monsters at the moment. So pendulum monsters go face up to the extra deck when they're sent from the field to the graveyard. So they'll go face up to the extra deck. If you fusion summon, if you ritual summon, if you synchro summon, they'll all go to the face up extra deck. That's where they'll go. But if you do it from the hand, if you discard the card, if you discard a pendulum monster from the hand, if you fusion summon, if you ritual summon from the hand, they go to the grave. So keep that in mind, guys, keep that in mind. And the last one is the Chosen Warriors of the Zefra. This is a continuous spell card, and it's a fantastic one as it gets more broken as it increases in power. So the card gains effects based on the number of Zefra monsters in your extra deck with different names. So again, face up, this comes into the face up pendulum monster thing that I just mentioned. So 3 or more, all monsters you control gain 100 attack for each face up monster in either player's extra deck. Not exactly great, but Kali Forts are a thing. And it'll help you keep above their attack with, you know, with so many that they'll be running in their extra deck. 5 or more, all monsters you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effect. Solid, balanced, and really, you know, 8 or more is where it gets broken. All monsters you control cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effect. And 10, if you have 10 face-up Zefra monsters, you can send this face-up card from the field to the graveyard, shuffle all cards from your opponent's hand, field, and graveyard into the deck. Now, as I understand it, that will probably be I doubt that will be either player's turn. I think that will be on your turn. So it's got some balance to it, I think. I do believe that 10 effect has some balance, but it seems like a one more card. So I doubt I would run this at any more than one. It just seems like a very much one more card, because you don't want to draw into it first turn. You want to kind of add it to your hand when it's, you know, when you have 5 or 8 face up in your extra deck, and then it kind of punishes you for pendulum summoning from your extra deck if you do have 5 or more, because then you're going to have less, so they're going to get destroyed by torrential tribute and things. So it's up to you how you want to run it, really. This guy is the guy. This guy is the motherfucker that you're going to want to run in the next format. This is the Necros guy. This will be run in every Necros deck at 3. I guarantee it. I almost guarantee it will be run at 3. Even if you're not running Zefra monsters, this guy will be the guy to run. So he's called Sword Saint of the Necros Zefra Saber. And all of the Zefra monsters have the pendulum effect that is the same. So you cannot pendulum summon monsters except such and such monsters or Zefra monsters. This effect cannot be negated. So if it's a Necro monster in the card text, you can't special pendulum monsters, you can't pendulum summon monsters except Necros monsters. If it's Tellarknights, you're not summoning anything except Tellarknights. If it's Yang Zhang, and so on and so forth. You get the idea. So for the monster effect, you can tribute this card from your hand or face up from your side of the field, tribute monsters from your hand or field, then ritual summon one Necros ritual monster from your hand whose levels exactly equal the total levels of these monsters. Thank you. Wow. You can only use the effect once per turn. Right. The reason that he's so good is because of Curse Seal of Forbidden Spell and Anti-Spell Fragrance, Dark Bribe, all the things to stop Necros from ritual summoning. So the reason that this guy's good is that he stops all of those abusive cards from happening. And also he's got 1500 attack and 800 defense. So if you tribute the card from your hand, you'll send it to the graveyard. If you tribute it from face up from your side of the field, it'll go from face up. From face up on your side of the field to your extra deck. So that's the difference. But you want to tribute it from your hand because Salvage is a good card, guys. Salvage makes this card broken because he's just going to use Salvage, bring 2 of these back to the hand, or bring 1 of them back to the hand in a what do you call it? I don't know what I can't remember the name of it. And you'll be able to ritual summon yet again. Like, you'll just be able to constantly abuse the fact that you can ritual summon. So this card is fantastic. This card will be run at 3 in the Necros decks, and probably run at 1 or 2 in the Zefra decks at least. Next up we have the Stellar Knight Zefra buff. Now what I'll mention is good about this card is the 1009, and the scale. Sorry, this is scale 1, this is a scale 7. So all the pendulum monsters, the Zephyr's pendulum monsters, have a scale of 1 or 7. That's their gimmick, I guess. Yeah. So if this card is normal, flip, or pendulum summoned, not special summoned, guys, so remember that, it's not special summoned, you can target one other Tellarknight or Zefra card in your monster zone or pendulum zone and one set card your opponent controls and destroy them. So if you think that that's broken, fair enough. It's got 1900 attack, you know, it's pretty good attack. The thing to remember is Altair won't trigger this, Call the Haunted won't trigger this, and none of the XYZ monsters will trigger this. If you special summon one of these through the XYZ monster, it's not going to trigger it. So that's where it's become balanced. They didn't include special summoning in its card effect, so that's why he's a bit balanced. I like him. Next up we have Zefra Quinn, the Secret of the Yangzhen. And his monster effect is he's scale 7. His monster effect reads, when this card is pendulum summoned, or when this card is in your monster zone or pendulum zone, when this card in your monster zone or pendulum zone is destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can add one Yangzhen or Zefra spell trap card from your deck to your hand. So you want to pendulum summon this card, or you want to have him face up in your pendulum zone. It's very rare that you probably have him in your monster zone to get destroyed, but if your opponent does Typhoon this card, you'll add a Zefra spell trap card or a Yangzhen spell trap card from your deck to your hand. That is good. I consider him, he's probably going to be run at 2 or 3 just because you want him to be destroyed in some way. Notice how it doesn't say your opponent's card effect, it just says card effect. So if you do destroy your own Zefra Quinn, you'll get the effect. You will get the effect. As long as it's destroyed at resolution, like Typhoon destroys something at resolution, then you get the effect. So you can't destroy it as cost. Next up we have Zefra Fuxi, or however you say it, Treasure of the Yangzhen. He's a scale 1, and if this card is special summoned from the deck or is pendulum summoned, you can target one Yangzhen or Zefra monster you control, except Fuxi, Treasure of the Yangzhen, however you say it. This turn it's treated as a tuner monster. If you activate this effect, place this card on the bottom of the deck when it leaves the field. I don't think I would ever run this card. Maybe at 1, I may run him at 1 just so I can synchro summon, but I doubt I would run him at all, because the only time you're ever going to get his effect is if you are running a Yangzhen deck to special summon him from the deck, or if you pendulum summon him, and I doubt you will pendulum summon him to do it. And also, if you activate the effect and then you synchro summon with him, then you've got to place him on the bottom of the deck, so I don't think I like him. I don't think he's very good. I don't think he's a solid enough card to be run. Tellarknight Sephiroth, Uban, or however you say it, Sephiroth. Same as the other guy. If this card is normal, flip, or pendulum summoned but not special summoned, you can target one other Tellarknight or Zefra card in your monster zone or pendulum zone, and one face-up card your opponent controls, destroy them. You can only use that once per turn. So again, the thing that made this good was the 2100 defense. It's the defense that makes this card good, because Tellarknights have been waiting for a card with a high defense. You know, something to hold off against something like, I don't know, Volcanic Rocket. You know, something that will just take you to school, basically. If you have too much attack, because you can get Bottomless Trap Hold or something like that. Face-up cards are the worst thing that you can have at the minute, so you want a face-down card with a high defense to protect yourself. So I think I like this card, but I don't know how good he's going to be. He's solid enough that he should be run in the Sephiroth deck, but maybe not solid enough for the Tellarknight deck. Maybe not. Anyways, moving on, we've got Zefra and Pelika, the Bold Ritual Beast Tamer. She's scale 1, and when this card is normal or pendulum summoned, you can target one Ritual Beast or Zefra monster in your graveyard, except Pelika, and special summon it, but destroy it during the end phase. So this card will be run at 3 and Ritual Beasts. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's like, what's her name? Rera, or whatever her name is. Yeah, she special summons from the thing. Sorry. She special summons, so the thing is that if you contact fuse with this, you'll still banish it. So if you do contact fuse, you will banish the Ritual Beast Pelika, and you can only special summon Zefra and Pelika per turn. So yeah, she is a really good card and probably would replace Rera. And for the Zefra, if you run the Zefra deck, you're going to be XYZ summoning. So when you XYZ summon and detach an XYZ material, which will be a pendulum card, it'll go to the grave, which is the last place you want it. And pendulum monsters that are special summoned back and destroyed from the field will return to the face up in the extra deck. So she's a solid card. I see her being run at maybe 2 or 3 in the Zefra deck. In the ritual based deck, absolutely 3. Absolutely 3. Moving on, we have Zefra Wendy. Zefra Wendy is a jank card. I will say it, I will explain her effect, right? When this card is normal or pendulum summoned, you can add one face up Zefra monster from your extra deck to your hand, except Wendy. You can only special summon Zefra Wendy once per turn. The reason that she's jank is because you don't really want to you want to special summon your cards from your extra deck. You don't want to bring them back to your hand unless it's something like the, what's it called? The Sword Saint. If you're bringing Sword Saint back to your hand, fair enough, because he will work from the hand, but other than that, it's really not worth running this card. So don't run this card. Pot of Riches is so much better. You can, you know, bring 3 of your Zefra monsters back and draw 2 cards. It's so much better just to run Pot of Riches instead, so run that instead. Zefra Exa the Flame Beast Necros. This is the interesting card because if you remember correctly, the Exa warrior, whatever his name was, Warrior of the Necros, he was a level 5 water. For absolutely no reason, they've made this guy a fire type. I don't know why he's a fire attribute, but he's a fire attribute, so there you go. If a Necros or a Zefra card in your monster zone or pendulum zone is destroyed by battle or by card effect, except X of the Flame Beast Necros, while this card is in your hand or graveyard, special summon this card. This guy is fantastic to run. He's a good card. You know, if you do tribute, if you do, you know, let's say you use him to, you know, you use the Sword Saint to ritual summon with the Exa or something like that, you can then bring him back, like from the graveyard. You know, it's these kind of things where you want to bring him back from the graveyard or the hand, and you can special summon him that way as well. So you can't be special summoned from the face up from the extra deck unless you're pendulum summoning, but if you do find a way to get him to the graveyard quickly enough, he can go to the graveyard and then be special summoned back when a monster or pendulum zone monster is destroyed by battle or by card effect. So yeah, I like this card. I think he should be running probably 2, 1 or 2. I think this is where I start to get split with this. This card is kind of half jank, half good. If this card is pendulum summoned, or if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one card in either player's pendulum zone, return it to the hand. You must control a Zefra card in your pendulum zone to activate and to resolve this effect. So there's a lot of condition there. But if you do, this card can work with against Khaliforce, I guess. For the scout, it would at least make him have to pay another 800 life points to get scout's effect. So it can work, but I wouldn't think he should be run. I honestly don't think it should be run. And it also allows you to reset your scales. Like if you want to reset your scales, fair enough with the Shaddoll deck. It's a fair enough card, but I don't think I would run it. I don't think it's that great. And to be fair to the card, it's not as bad. It's just that it only rechanges what you can have in your hand. If you put Sword Saint, again, it all depends on Sword Saint, because Sword Saint is the best in the archetype. If you put Sword Saint from your extra deck, sorry, not your extra deck, Pendulum Zone back into your hand and then tribute it, you can then ritual summon again. So that's, you know, that's where he's kind of useful, but aside from that, I don't think he's very useful. The last card is Shaddoll Zefra Roots. If this card is pendulum summoned, or if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one Zefra card in your pendulum zones, except Shaddoll Zefra Roots special summoner. The reason I think this card would be fantastic is because if you do intend to use a quick play, let's say you use a quick play, the quick play El Shaddoll Fusion, you can create a 1-turn kill. I think you could possibly create a 1-turn kill, and you can send him to the graveyard just by having him in your hand. So I'll explain how he works. If he's face up and you fusion summon, he'll go to the extra deck. That's why he's not useful. But if he's in your hand and you fusion summon, then you'll be able to use his effect and target a Zefra card in your pendulum zones, and then special summon it, which can be the, what's his face? He's where is he? Exa, 2000 attack. 2000 attack can mean the game. It can mean the game just because you special summoned, you know, from the pendulum zone. So he's worth running, I think. He's fair enough. I think he's a fair card, and I like to see a lot of these hybrids. So guys, that is the archetype so far. If you guys did like this video, please comment, like, and subscribe. Tell me what you think of these Zefras, this Sephira deck, because I think I'm going to really enjoy seeing all your guys' thoughts and what you guys want to run with us and how it's going to be. But yeah, you know, make your suggestions in the comments below. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And this is Seth punching out.